Hey, good morning. This is Stephen Galindo, and got a little bit of sacred wisdom for you. Thank you so much for your responses to my videos. I appreciate those of you who like them on Facebook and who like them on YouTube. And for those of you who share them with others, it thrills my heart to know that there are other people out there that don't even know me and don't even know anything about Missouri who are enjoying sacred wisdom from God. And hey, I'm just an everyday, average, normal guy. With hidden superpowers. But the key thing is that I want to be a vessel, an open vessel that gets used by the Almighty to bring you encouragement. Encouragement, that's the main thing. I think I got it from God and my mom added together, and now I became an encouraging person. I'll tell you my own personal story at some other point in time. But I did want to tell you that I am a pastor and I'm a writer. I've written and self-published 30 different books. They're all available on Amazon.com. If you'll go there and type in Steven, and then Galindo is Galindo. You'll see my books, and they're available for purchase. Most of them are 10 or 12 bucks, and I would encourage you to take a look and see if there's something there that will touch your heart and minister to you. What I got to thinking about today that I wanted to share with you was Don't Believe the Lie. That's the title of this one, Don't Believe the Lie. So several years ago, my wife and I were living our lives, normal lives in Houston. My mother was a real estate agent, and she called and said, I'm trying to sell a house. I can't get anyone to come look at it. I want you to come look at it and sign my little book to show that somebody came and looked at the house. I said, Mom, I can't afford a house. I got bad credit. I'm deeply in debt. I can't do this. And she said, just come look at the house and sign it so I can show that somebody came and looked at it. So I said, okay, I will. And my wife and I went over and we looked. It was a beautiful two-story house, and it was gorgeous, and no one was interested in buying it. And we didn't understand why. But on the way home, my wife was sad. And I said, how come you're sad? She said, I'm sad because that's a beautiful home, and we'll never be able to afford a home like that because of our bad credit. Well, the next day, my wife called her, and my mother called her, and she asked my wife, do you know what your credit rating is? And my wife said no. And my mom said, let's find out. And they ran a credit check, and come to find out that we had excellent credit. See, at one time in the past, we'd had bad credit, but we had consolidated all of our debt through a debt consolidating agency, and we had paid off everything that we owed, and so we were no longer in debt. I was mistaken in thinking we were in debt, and she was mistaken in thinking that we did not have good credit. We actually had excellent credit because we paid off all our debts. So we had shown to bankers and anybody else that might loan us money that we were a good credit risk. Well, when the bank found out and they talked to them about this house, the bank basically, the loan officer asked my wife, how much money do you want? How much do you want to borrow? Because you and your husband are good for it. We ended up getting a loan. We ended up getting the very house that she said we would never be able to afford because of our bad credit rating. And it was a miracle to me. Later on, I understood exactly what happened, and as I explained it to you, but at the time I thought, wow, we went from thinking that we had bad credit, could never afford a home, to actually finding out we had very good credit and we could afford the very home that we would like to own. And we lived in that home for 10 years before we sold it and moved here to Joplin. Here's the point of the story. There's a lot of people that go through life, and some of them may be you, who are believing a lie. You've been told something and you believe it's true, and you don't have any way as of this point you still think it's true, but it may not be true. The thing that you think is holding you back may not even be there. It may be an obstacle that you don't even have to deal with. Okay, I was told when I was in high school that you can't go to college unless you pass algebra. I took algebra 4 times, and guess how many times I failed it? 4 times. And so after that I thought, well, I'm no good, I can't go to college. I found out later on, 3 years later, yes, you can go to college without taking algebra, without passing algebra, and I did, and I got my degree. Once again, a barrier seemed to be there that I found out later was no barrier at all, but I believed the lie that the barrier was there. I don't want you believing the lie. I want you believing truth. And the truth is that you're stronger than you think you are. You're bigger and bolder than you think you are. Especially if you have God inside you, man, you can overcome all kinds of things and figure all kinds of things out. Sorry for the bouncing camera. We got a windy day and it's messing with my supporter. Anyway, that's the message I want to share with you. Don't believe the lie, walk in truth, and just because there seems to be a barrier doesn't mean there's necessarily a barrier. Instead, I want you to check it out, do some research, figure out, is there a way to go over it? Is there a way to tunnel under it? Is there a way to go around it? Or is God just going to have to remove it? But we can overcome a lot of things through God. That's what I wanted to share with you. That is some sacred wisdom. I'm still Steve Galindo. And hey, share this this video. One of them that I did recently, 600 people watched. I was blown away. So if we get 300 on this one, that'll be an amazing miracle. Thank you. God bless you. I'll be back in just a little bit.